never gonna win. Long as you're happy, you're always gonna grin. You get out what you put in. You get out what you put in. Never gonna lose, never gonna win. Long as you're happy, you're always gonna grin. You get out what you put in. You get out what you put in. You get out what you put in. Oh my goodness, we got Eriona in, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce your surname.
Do you know what? I have difficulty with it myself, so don't worry.
Well, I won't ask you then, but oh my goodness, how lovely to see you. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me on. Do you know that song just made me so happy? It's the first time I've heard it. I was like, oh, this is nice.
Do you know where it comes from?
No.
I wrote it.
Oh, no way.
Way. Absolutely way. Yeah. And it's called Full Cup, and that's why I call my business Full Cup. Little did I know when I set my business up that I would be doing a live show and I'd need some live music to go with it, but it just works out perfectly. And the chorus, you get out what you put in, is my strapline. So yeah,
I think I need you to be writing a song for me as well.
It was
I'm going to be singing.
So if anybody doesn't know you, all right, then give us a quick introduction. Who are you, please?
So I'm Eriona. I manage and run Majors Accounts, which is a small family-run practice in southeast London. We're currently a team of 20, client base of just under 1,000. I actually started at the firm at a very young age when I was 13. And just for some background, Majors Accounts is called Majors Accounts because my dad, who started it, was a major in the army. So you can imagine how I kind of grew up and how the business was run, like clockwork. As you know, I say to people, I've pretty much done my army years by a major. But when I took over the practice, when I kind of got my ACCA licensing and things like that, I wanted to make it a practice that was my own and work in a different way. So we're not working 24/7, actually enjoy it. And seeing as it was a business we wanted to start up, enjoy life a little bit as well, and provide a different level of service for our clients as well. So I digitized the business when I took over. It was a huge job. I didn't realize how difficult it was going to be when I started. And I think when I started, there wasn't as much support or knowledge about the tech and what's out there as there is now. So I didn't have anyone to ask, and it was very much trial and error. But we got there just before COVID as well. So we were able to work non-stop, and we've kind of grown in profitability, I would say, not necessarily client numbers, because after COVID I decided to cut down on who we're working with. I don't want to work with anybody, which means our team don't have to deal with as many people, and we're doing better as a business as a result.
No, that's absolutely brilliant. I'm so looking forward to chatting to you, because what you've been through is such an amazing journey, to go from old-fashioned to digital, and I guess you were exonerated when COVID hit, because if you hadn't have done digital, you're like, how on earth are we going to do this? Was it 2 meters? I can't remember now, but it was crazy, wasn't it? We couldn't do anything, could we?
I actually heard a story of someone, an accountant, who built a conservatory on the front of their office so that his clients could post the paperwork through. They'd leave it there for 2 days, and after 2 days, go in and pick it up. That's the kind of thing. Now, I don't know how much that conservatory cost, but I'm pretty sure if there was that much investment in the tech, it would have been a lot cheaper.
That is a great story. I'll just say hello to Kirsty and to Michal, who are coming on to say hello. And if anyone's got any questions for Eriona, then please put them in the chat. Okay, so you're running Majors.
Yeah.
Okay. As father retired?
So he hasn't retired, because if he did, then I don't know what he would be doing.
Right.
So
okay.
To speak to people, and he's got some legacy clients that I've said keep them on. It's fine. He's got someone to talk to during the day now. It's more of a how are you doing, how's business. And actually, he said to me last week, do you know, I'm actually really enjoying my job. This is so different to what I was doing before. I'm not focused on any of the running. I'm just talking to clients and enjoying my time. So I was like, perfect. But he obviously doesn't do full time. It's just a few days and a few hours a day. But it's something just to keep him occupied.
Right. Now, this is great. Okay. Just paint us a little picture, please, Eriona. So he just said that. All right. He's enjoying his job, not doing what I was doing. What was he doing? Because that is what an awful lot of accountants and bookkeepers are still doing today, isn't it?
Yeah. So as I mentioned, the firm before I took over was a successful business, right? So we had over 3,500 clients at that point. We had a team of 25, but this came with, and my dad, since he started the business, working 7 days a week. We were open as a business 7 days a week at the office. And he couldn't go anywhere. When we were on holiday, we all had to be quiet whilst he answered client phone calls. So if we were in the car, in a journey, wherever we were, it was non-stop. So when I say 7 days a week, not just at the office, but outside, and clients would call at midnight, he always said to them, I'm available for you whenever. Now, that's fine, but it will take its toll, and he will funnel basically for everything because clients only trusted him. And in terms of tech, I think Excel was our main thing, for like 99% of everything. And clients would take a plane to come and see us with their bags of receipts. Now, they've passed thousands of accountants on that journey before they us, but obviously that he built up that relationship with clients, that they trusted us and the service we provided. But you cannot physically do that 7 days a week, 12 hours a day. He was the first one in and the last one out. Whether that meant being at the office at 7 and then leaving at 7 or 8, it was fine. But 7 days a week, it's not doable. And that's just the way he trained our clients to be available whenever. But yeah, you need a life as well. Otherwise, what's the point of setting up a business, right?
Absolutely. And this is the thing but the trouble is that when you set up a business, and I know this, you're sort of, I'll do this and I'll do that. Before you know it, you are working a lot more than you were before, and you've got to sort of like, whoa, hang on a minute. I saw you at Accountex. I don't know whether you saw me, but I was just absolutely stacked on my stand, and it would be lovely to have a little chat. But did I see you pushing a push chair?
Of course.
Excellent. So you've got another little one, and you're managing all of that with it running the business as well. And that's the beauty. And so hang on, while you're out with your, so what flavour did you get?
What flavour of what?
Child.
Oh, okay. I had a boy this time.
Little boy. So you got vanilla. So you're pushing your little son around in the pushchair. Does he have to be quiet while you take client calls, or you don't get client calls when you're out and about?
No, it's very different now. So I have the luxury now, because we have trained our clients now to know that I am available set hours for phone calls. Work that's with the team and things like that, I'm available for my team as and when needed, but we've also trained our team now to be able to do everything. So I'm more of a here in the background. If something is going really wrong or there's something you're not sure of what to do next, then I'm there, I'm available. But client meetings, set hours, and I really stick to those, to be honest, because I do value the importance of, one, taking my children, for example, to school every day and picking them up, so they know that I was around. When they grow up, that they know that I was there at every point, or at least they'll remember that. But I'm more focused during certain hours as well. So it's making my business work for me, not the other way around.
Brilliant. And so some of that is training your team, training your clients, but a lot of it is the tech. Is that right?
It is. It's a mixture of all, but you need the tech, the right infrastructure in place to be able to do all of this. If the tech is there, so what we basically did after trial and error for a while, we replicated our processes that we had in our business into the technology. And once the technology was set up so it could give us some time back, then we had more time to train the team, but train the team on soft skills as well. So it's having those conversations with clients, because it's all well and good that we will have some time available. It's not a case of, great, if we've got more time available, we can have a smaller team and so on. It's how can we use that time to provide a better service and do something that's even better than before. So that meant training the team on building those relationships with clients, and hence why I don't take or my dad, we don't take all the phone calls like we used to before. Every single phone call or contact or meeting went through us.
Wow.
Now I am informed of, this is what was discussed with this client, and this is what happened in this meeting, and that's all I know. And I'm only in meetings if ever needed, but not like we were before. So the tech is important to be able to enable that whole transformation for the business and for our own lives as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So someone's listening to this and they're using old tech or sometimes not tech. Where should they start, Eriona?
So when I look back on what I did and what I should have done, I left practice management last, thinking that it's not that important, because we used to manage all of our clients and things on Excel on lists, which is crazy, especially if a file breaks or somebody else is in it and someone didn't realize and they've saved it and it's the wrong version. And we were managing 3,500 clients on this, by the way, so I don't know how we did, but I think I would start off with practice management and then build up from there, so that all your processes with workflows and everything else carries on from that. It's a lot easier. But yeah, I left that till last and I paid the price of it. But going back, if I was to start again, definitely that would be number one.
So if I was just starting my practice right now, you'd tell me to get practice management right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you need to.
perfect.
Yeah.
Now this is the biggest problem. We're just talking about Accountex. There was over 300 exhibitors there.
Yeah.
There was probably quite a few practice management, softwares there and stuff like that. How do you find the right one? And did you have to kiss a few frogs before you found your prince?
So this is the case with all software, right? But I think a few years ago, I put out a post on LinkedIn saying, hey guys, I'm looking for practice management. I've realized how important it is now, after everything else is set up. So give me all of your ideas and suggestions. Obviously, some of the main ones that were out there I looked into, and I had some suggestions for ones that I hadn't heard of. But what I think is really important is to be careful not to be sucked into the new shiny tech syndrome of becoming tech happy and saying, oh, this solves most of my problems, or some of it, this looks like it's really good, I'm going to take that on. It's, does that tech match what you or how you are running your business? It may do amazing things, but if that's not something you do in your business right now, then there's no point taking it on. You need to focus on, first of all, how you can replicate what you're doing. So I went through so many different softwares, and we went ahead with a software called Onco just because it allowed us to run our business how we wanted. And the rest of them, it was me changing my processes to fit with them. And as a practice owner, I want to focus on higher level reporting, because I don't want to be in knowing absolutely everything. But higher level, I can see if there's something going wrong, then I can drill down into that one particular thing. I don't need to see everything or know everything at first glance. So that's what kind of influenced our choice. Yes, it's not the most popular in the market because not many people know about it, but it's perfect for our firm and how we want to run, or how we currently run and want to run going forward. So I think that's super important, just making sure that you're able to replicate that.
Yeah, that's a very, very good point. And I've had Emma on here before. Onco is an amazing product, but it doesn't do what you expect it to do, but it does it in a totally different way. And like you say, and this is the thing, right? When you start looking at practice management, all these different practice management companies turn around and go, yeah, but you need it to do this, and you need it to do that, and you need it to do that. And he's like, oh my goodness. And then you just get overwhelmed.
Exactly.
And I think you've got to turn around and go, look, this is what we want it to do. Yeah. Can it do this? Yeah, but it's got mud flaps, and it's got coffee holders and all of those sorts of things. No. I just need it to do the fundamentals, and it's understanding that. Yeah. And if all you're doing is replacing a spreadsheet, then pretty much all of them would do that.
Yeah.
And like you say, we can get really overtaken by shiny object syndrome.
Absolutely. Do you know one thing that helps me, because there were some apps when I was looking throughout the whole process that I really wanted to go ahead with because they're cool, right? Everyone knows them in industry. You want to be a part of a certain technology. But if you have, let's say, 4 top must-haves that if it does not have these, then forget it. It's not the right one for you, no matter how popular it is. And a lot of those, my list was cleared so quickly in terms of options of who I can go ahead with, just because I stuck to that, no matter how much I was like, oh, but that one has some really cool features and that would be so nice. But if you stick to it, it clears that up for you, makes the decision so much easier, because you know, okay, this actually solves my problem. So that's the one that's pretty clear to go ahead with.
Yeah, I totally get that, because I've recently changed my car, and the number one thing I wanted on that new car was Apple CarPlay.
Yeah.
That was it. And so, you know, it's very easy to, you know, I ended up having to buy a newer car than I wanted to, because some of the older models didn't have Apple CarPlay. But that was it. And it was all like, we're there driving it, and my wife's going, but do you really need Apple CarPlay? This is a really nice car. And I go, no.
I need it.
Yeah, absolutely. And do you know what? When we go out in the car now, and it hasn't got, you know, we go in a friend's car, and they haven't got Apple CarPlay. I haven't got Apple, you know. So,
exactly. Once you get used to it, it's hard to put up.
Absolutely. And this is the thing with. So, what are those 4 things then that are on your list? Should they be on everybody's list?
Honestly, those 4 things depends on how you run as a business. So for practice management, for example, it was, I need to be able to communicate via text messaging. It needs to kind of incorporate all of my emails into one centralized place. I needed to have that reporting. That dashboard was 100% something that I had to have, that was easy and flexible, basically. And I wanted our team, for their dashboards, everyone to have on their own dashboard what is relevant to them, not something that I create and then everyone has to follow that. What's important to me is not important to my team. It may not be important to the payroll team. It may be different for the accounts team. It may be different on an individual level. So having something that's focused for everybody to save some time, and it may seem like a little bit of time, but actually when you add it all up, it is a huge amount of time, and it ensures that nobody misses anything, because they know what's on their list, what's on their dashboard. Is everything going well? Great. If it's not, they're able to look into that really quickly, rather than seeing this one big thing of trying to rummage through and what's important to me on here, what's relevant for me. So they were kind of our main points that we wanted to hit, and Onco did all of that.
Yeah, and I love what you're saying there about saving time. You know Lucy Cohen.
Yeah.
She's been on the show, and we were talking about she shaves seconds and you know off doing a tax return. But if you've got, you know, I don't know how many she does, but 1,000, 10,000 tax returns, and you can shave 5 seconds off each one just by having this, then at the end of the day, that makes you so much more efficient. And that is the key thing, isn't it? Because so how many clients did you say you've got at the moment?
We've just got under 1,000 now.
Yeah. So if each one takes another 5 minutes, there's somebody watching now who's going to do the sums for me and let me know. But that's an awful lot more time to do it. And like you say, you're looking at the dashboard, you want high level.
Yeah.
The payroll team, they need to know this little bit.
Absolutely.
And that's a beauty. Poor old Kirsty. She wished she had it when she was it wasn't such a thing 15 years ago. So we were just having a little chat before we started, Kirsty, and I was working for a company called Digital, and we launched it 17 years ago, our practice management, but it's very rudimentary when you look at some of the products today. So yeah, it's difficult. And when we start a practice, we sort of like, we need the tax software, we need the account software. So yeah, different times. And Farsi's saying it's a very interesting take on practice management. It certainly is. Hi, Pavel, how are you? So we've now got our practice management. All right. So this runs our practice and everybody can get into it. What else do we need next?
Onboarding is super important. Making sure that you have a solution for that. So with the proposal software, make sure you have the ability to collect funds via direct debit, and the bookkeeping package obviously is the next biggest thing. I would say you need to ensure that you have everything else kind of slots in after this. With the bookkeeping package, it's the data extraction tool as well, so something like Dex that feeds into it, and then moving forward into like work papers, payroll, which will go around it, and then the accountancy kind of tax return and submission packages. So it all kind of feeds through from the practice management, setting up the workflows of what you need to do, which will say, okay, now I need to connect this and X, Y, Z. So throughout all of that. Now, this may look different for different businesses.
Sure.
It just depends on how each business is run. But nowadays we do have the ability to connect all of that and recreate those processes and be as efficient as possible.
Yeah, the software packages today are so much better. Open AI and all of that sort of stuff. Yeah. Sorry, Open API. It just makes it so much easier. Bookkeeping.
Yes.
Okay, there's a few different flavors of bookkeeping out there. Some people are totally one brand. Some people do all of them and help everybody. What's your take on that, Eriona?
So when we decided to go digital, right, we'd never used any of the technology. And I use the example, when I went to QuickBooks Connect, it was the first kind of exhibition or expo that I went to in the accounting industry. I was too scared to even go up to the app partners to ask them what they did, because I thought they're going to think I'm so stupid, right? So
can I do you know when that was?
That was 2017, I believe, the first time I went.
So QuickBooks Connect 2017.
That was the first time I saw any of the tech. I was invited by QuickBooks at the time because I was looking into, okay, MTD, what is this thing? We need to make sure that we're
MTD, that still isn't here.
But everyone's talking about it, right? And I was like, okay, this looks like it's actually going to be a thing. Maybe I should look into it. And that's when I heard of QuickBooks Zero, Sage One, and all those kind of things. But QuickBooks were on it. They came down to the office. And for somebody who had no clue what this world was, they helped me navigate through that. And they said, come along to QuickBooks Connect. And I was like, what's that? And they said, it's an amazing conference. There's this, there's that. In my head, I'm thinking, how is an accounting conference going to be interesting? Is it not just people hanging around saying, hey, so how much tax did your client pay? What was this journal you did? I had no clue, right? So when I turned up and I saw this world that I didn't know existed, I was just in shock. And then the sessions on people like Will Farnell and James Ashford teaching us how to run our businesses and what they've done, I was like, oh my God, what is this? Like, first of all, in our industry, I'd never heard of anybody sharing secrets with each other, right? Because it was, oh no, they're going to steal my clients and so on. But these people were being open and saying, you can use this tech for this, and you can change the mindset of your clients in this way, and the mindset of your team. And I was just blown away. And then there's all these apps that are there. I was just like, I don't know who to go up to because I don't know what they do. And I've felt so embarrassed. So after the event, I'd like kind of walk past and take a note of their names so I could go and research afterwards. But because there was so much out there, I just thought, if I was overwhelmed, and I'm the type of person who loves change and loves new things, then I imagine for my team, it would be so much worse because they get more comfortable and in what they're doing. And once they're happy with something, they're happy with it. So I thought it's probably wise. Let's just stick to one instead of saying we're going to use all of them. And it'll get to a point where they will just say, no, can't do this, not doing this. This is too much for me to learn in one go. So we decided to stick with QuickBooks. And to be honest, we've just stuck with it because, one, our team have become experts in using it. So if there are any issues or anything like that, they know where to look. Generally, they can fix it without needing support. But it streamlines our processes as well in the apps that we have connected with it. We don't have to have one process for one kind of client or one process for somebody else. And it's just kind of honed in that client experience, but also our team experience and being able to be as streamlined as possible. Obviously, there are people that deal with everything, which is absolutely fine. But I think for us, it's worked better to streamline with one.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Totally agree. And have you seen the film The Founder?
I feel like I have.
It's the McDonald's story. I can't think of the guy who plays Ray Kroc, but a famous actor. Just lost on me now. But you don't go into McDonald's and ask for pizza. But you go into McDonald's and you can see them out the back, and they've got this process. And then if you go to another McDonald's in another country, they're doing it exactly the same. And so if I want a Big Mac in Exeter, Edinburgh, or Australia, it's going to be the same Big Mac.
Exactly.
Yeah. And this is the same with your business. Stuff comes in, gets processed in QuickBooks, and it comes out the other end. And like you say, you don't need to have Dext and Hubbox. It's crazy, isn't it? Yeah. And your story there of being overwhelmed, people are still being overwhelmed today. You can see their faces when they come to Accountex, and they're coming to Accountex for the first time. So they're in your shoes, and you had nobody to hold your hand.
No, absolutely no one. And I had everyone against me as well, because even my team who would look around, and when I'm talking about we're going to adopt this tech and this is what's going to happen, and we don't need to type anything anymore, we won't even need physical receipts. They were just kind of looking around and asking their colleagues in industry, and they were like, no, that's not a thing. Like, well, she's lost her mind, clearly. She's probably just going to do the business because she's young and she doesn't know what she's doing. So, and my dad had the same mindset, to be honest, which for him, he's built up a successful business, and he just saw this as a threat and something that's going to completely dismantle everything that he's done. I totally get it, but not only did I not have anyone to help me, but I had everyone against me as well. So it was just, I was very, in my mind, I was like, on paper, this makes sense. So I'm just going to go for it and see where it leads me. It should work out well. I mean, it did.
We know now. We know now that it did. So we're running out of time. I can't believe how quickly the time's going. What were the lowest moments, if you're happy to share those?
The lowest moments were my team not being on board, and I did not think that was going to be the most difficult part. It was enough learning what the software did and how they work together, but my team not being on board with it. I think by the time we finished our digitalization process, we started off with 25, and there were only 4 of the original team that stayed with us, because it was a threat of, you're replacing me for the technology. And that was not what I was trying to do. I wanted to replace their time that they spent doing data entry, so they could kind of, all that information and knowledge and expertise
have more fun at work.
Exactly, but actually use and have conversations with people, because they understand, they know how things work. So let's just have a different kind of job, which involves you letting us know what your experience is and your expertise, and letting other people know, and making everybody's life even better. But at that time, as I said, not many people were doing it, so it was just pure threat, which was unfortunate, but things happen. And if someone's not on your kind of mindset and where you want to be in terms of journey, they don't see the end goal, then it's probably best they don't continue on that journey, to be honest, because it also slows you down. And I was very adamant that I wanted to get to that point. So unfortunately, not something that I wanted to happen, because all those years of experience were lost, all that training, all the time we spent training were lost. But you live and you learn, and you have to get back up and keep going.
Yeah. Okay. So what's the what would you do differently now then? If I could turn back the clock, and you know everything now, you're this superb expert, and you know everything, and I grabbed hold of it. I don't know, Doctor Who came along and I took you back in time.
Yeah.
What would you do differently?
I'd probably get them involved in that journey of choosing the technology, just because they have no one else to explain or show that, this is an actual thing that's happening, as in other peers in the industry. Then bring them on that journey whilst I was having those conversations with all that.
So take them to QuickBooks Connect with you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Awesome. We got loads of things coming in. I know Pavel because I used to work at Digita. Finders, Michael Keaton, thank you. Inspiring journey. Software integration is a challenge. Nice listening to you guys. Thanks very much to Pavel Besnik and Michal and Kirsty for coming in and saying hi. What are you doing now?
So now, which I'm really excited about, I'm taking all of kind of everything that I've learned and the journey that I've been on, and looking back, knowing what I should have done and how I went about it, and helping other accountants on that journey. Now, when I say helping them, it's not a case of I will coach you on what you need to do. It's a done for you service. So I will come in, analyze your business, what kind of clients you have, industries they work in, how you work with them, and then come up with a plan of this is what needs to be done to replicate that into a digital kind of transformation. I will take the data, set up all the software, do the integrations, train the team as well on everything. And then one day when you're ready, we'll just switch it all on and you start working in a new digital transformed business. Because there is the reason I say done for you. I've been working with a friend actually who's a practice owner of a sizable practice. The last 2 years I've been coaching and saying you need to do this and that, but I know what it's like. He goes back to the business, bogged down with so many things, and he's just not made the progress that he wanted. And he wishes he had someone to just go in and do that for him. So that's what I will be doing, essentially. And I'm so excited because I find this super interesting. And being able to make that change for someone's business, something I'm really looking forward to.
No, I think it's absolutely fantastic. You're perfect for it because you know all the pitfalls and all the issues. And you know, we've said about the lows, but the highs, the high has got to be dad turning around and saying, I love my job.
Yeah.
And that is absolutely perfect. We have run out of time. Eriona, what a lovely chat. You're gonna have to come back and let us know how you're getting on and what it's all doing. So yeah, always lovely to have a chat with you. Thanks ever so much. I've got one more question for you before you go, but before then I just want to give a shout out to my guest next week. This is quite thing. Daniel's coming in talking about tech for accountants and bookkeepers, so you definitely want to come and watch that one. Do you know Daniel?
Not personally, I've seen him around, but
yeah, he does a lot of talks about tech and stuff like that, so really looking forward to having a chat with him. So Eriona, my last question to you, when you well, I probably know the answer to this, don't I? When you were at primary school, what did you want to be when you grew up?
I wanted to be a businesswoman.
Yeah, well,
not many people like, right? But I was just like the idea of going into like a boardroom and saying, this is what we're going to do, and thinking of kind of just business in general. I was a bit of an anomaly, but I feel so privileged to technically have realized my dream. So
yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing is, and so because you're living the dream, you're not working, you're just enjoying it.
Exactly.
So it's absolutely fantastic. Exactly. Oh, you've been absolutely delightful today. Thank you so much. Thanks to everybody for all your lovely comments and for helping me out with Michael Keaton. We will be back next week. Cheerio.
Thank you so much.
You get out what you put in, never gonna lose.